Page 7, short and sweet. In this lesson, we're using the same 4 notes we've been using with the same quarter notes and half notes and whole notes. We know how to count those, I hope. We're still in this first position, the hand position that we were in before. If you look at the music, the first note's middle C, then with the thumb on that. Well, if I put thumb on middle C, that puts the hand here. So that's where the hand is. And they're introducing a new mark, a musical symbol for you, and that's the dot. You see under the quarter notes, you've got little dots. That means something important. Now, when I learn a new piece of music, I have a particular routine that I use to learn a piece of music. It's like a plan of attack. How do you go about learning a new piece of music? What do you do when? And there's a certain set of steps I go through. I sort of build it up to learn a new piece of music, because I can't do it all at once unless it's really easy stuff. Then I can think about everything. But when it's more difficult, challenging for me, I got to just build it up one thing at a time. So I'm going to have to start using that routine now that they're adding staccatos. I'm also going to start talking about interpreting the music. Now, a lot of teachers, most teachers, don't teach interpretation, mainly because they were not taught interpretation. It's always bothered me. I said, why is this interpreted this way and not this way? And why is this here? And most of my teachers simply said, play it this way. And they would show me how they wanted it played. And that was how they taught interpretation. Monkey see, monkey do. It's the ape method. Do what I do. Play it this way. I don't like that. I would like you to learn to think for yourself on interpreting music. So I'm going to give you ideas and try and teach a little bit, at least, about interpreting music. And on top of everything else you're learning, you just well learn this too. Oh, whatever. Interpreting is kind of fun, though. However, interpreting music comes after you get all the mechanics out of the way, because you got to have it so automatic you're feeling it. That's interpretation. Now back to short and sweet. When I decide to learn a piece of music, the first thing I like to do is I look it over. I want an idea of how long it is. Just a general idea. This thing is 2 lines long. A line is whatever you're playing goes across the page one time is 1 line, okay? There's 2 staffs here, but you're not playing them at the same time because they're not connected. You're playing them 1 staff at a time. Therefore, it's 2 lines long. That's treble clef. 4/4 time signature. Always check the clef sign and the time signature because they can change on you. So just get in the habit of looking at checking them. And just generally looking, I see quarter notes, half notes, whole notes. Okay, we can do all that too. As far as the staccato and that stuff, I don't worry about it now. I'll deal with that later. Just right now, I want to get the notes and the rhythms and the fingering okay. Fingering's not really a problem, I hope, because you're just in one position here and you're going to use whatever fingers on those notes. And you don't need any of these other finger numbers. You need the first finger number on the first note, and that's it. You don't need any others. Please don't read finger numbers. Ugh, bad idea, really a bad idea. But then I'll play it if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I play it through. As far as counting goes, you count at the beginning to learn what the rhythm is. Once you have the rhythm down, you don't count it anymore. You feel it. So once I have the notes and the rhythm and the fingering all worked out, and I can play it through with no hesitations, I'll talk more about hesitations later. Then I add what's known as articulation. Articulation is how you express the note, how you play it. There's a whole lot of different marks for articulation, but what I want to talk first about, because they're doing staccatos. Staccatos when you're separating the notes. So we can either play legato, that's where we connect the notes. All connected. I played a little fast, but I'm doing this forever, so just put up with it. Or we can disconnect the notes. That's it. That's your choices. You connect or you don't connect. Huh? Well, when I first learn a piece of music, I connect everything if I can. I want to connect everything. And why? Because it affects the fingering, and I'll talk a lot about fingering. But just right now, I want to connect everything at first. That's why when I played that, I connected those notes. Well, those staccatos are telling you to disconnect those. Okay, if I disconnect these notes, let's go here. That's legato. Disconnect them. Or disconnect them. See, there's different lengths of disconnecting. Choices of staccato. You got short staccato and long staccato and in-between staccato and all kinds of staccato. Depends on how fast it goes and whatever. The staccato we're going to do first is short staccato. It's indicated by the dot. It simply means you play it short. My teacher, when I was little, called them hot stove notes, because if you touch a hot stove, you get off quick. And here we're flexing at the wrist, and you're on the key, and you simply bounce off. Play it and bounce off. That's all we're doing. That's what this is. I'm going to get good at that. Hopefully they're going to do the same stuff in the left hand, because you need to develop both hands. I mean, you could play that in the left hand too. You have to change the finger numbers and put little finger on C. It's not a bad idea. But they're not doing that. They're leaving the left hand out for now, just right hand. So once I have the notes and fingering and rhythm all down, then I add the articulation, which is, in this case, the staccatos. Now, if I'm going fast, I can't be on the key and bounce off. You have to do this. But it's a small motion. It's not a big motion. It's just a small motion. It's a small motion. Depends on how fast you're going. If I have time, I'm on the key and I bounce off. How fast you go, how loud you play, and the articulation, staccatos, legato, all of that is part of interpreting the music. They're telling you a little bit about how to interpret the music. As we go through the book, I'm going to add more, because you can do more than that. But we'll wait. This lesson's long enough as it is, so let's move on. Now, I have a thing in a lot of my lessons called a play with me, a section toward the end of the lesson. Usually it's at the end. And I put the beginning point of the play with me in the description. So if you want to come back to the video later and just do that, you can go right to the play with me part. You don't have to go through the whole lesson again, although it doesn't hurt to listen to the lesson again. So I want to start doing play with me's here, where you play with me. If you have a teacher and you're playing and you play a wrong note or you get the rhythm wrong, the teacher will tell you you got something wrong. At least I hope they do. That's their job. If you're by yourself and you play a wrong note or they get the rhythm wrong, how do you know? And my answer to that is, do the play with me. Play along with me. You should play the same note I'm playing at the same time I'm playing it. So I'm going to count us in, and you play along with me if you want to. I'm going to do the staccatos and stuff. We're going to go really slow. We're not performing it per se. We're just checking notes and rhythms is all this is for. So I'm going to give us 4 counts. I'm going to 1, 2, ready, go. That's 4. And that's because the time signatures, there's 4 counts in a measure. That's how many counts I get, or whatever. So I'm going to do that. 1, 2, ready, go. And then we start playing together, I hope. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. 2, 3, 4. 4. 2, 3, 4, off.